What if I told you that leadership isn't about being the loudest voice in the room? It's about being the most aligned. That true expansion doesn't come from punishment, from pushing harder, but from building in harmony with your soul. And that the world doesn't need another spiritual influencer. It needs sacred architects who remember how to turn vision into action and energy into embodiment. In this episode, we're diving deep into the life of the legacy of Guru Amar, the third Sikh Guru, and the embodiment of Energy Body 3, the positive mind. But this isn't a history lesson. It's a soul activation, because what Guru Amar carried wasn't just wisdom. It was a Lemurian code, a blueprint, a frequency of sacred structure that your soul has been aching to remember. So if you've ever felt the pull to lead, but you've doubted your voice, if you've been sitting on a vision, waiting for a sign to begin, if you know you're here to build a new world, but you're stuck over planning or hiding behind perfection, then this transmission is for you. Take a breath. This isn't context. It's a vortex. So let's begin. Hey, Lemurian soul. Welcome back to Lemuria, the art of remembering. I'm Cherry, your spiritual life coach, numerologist, Lemurian guide, and truth activator for the high frequency, high sensitivity soul who knows she's here to build a new world. This is not just a YouTube video. This is a temple of remembrance, a place where we reclaim ancient wisdom, decode sacred numbers, and activate your energetic mastery so you can lead, love, and live from your highest timeline. Right now, we're in a deep dive journeying through the 10 energy bodies, the energetic anatomy of your soul. And we're mapping these through the living examples of the 10 Sikh Gurus, who I believe were not just prophets or saints, but Lemurian souls, carriers who incarnated at precise moments in history to reactivate the energetic grid lines of Earth with embodied truth. If you've already listened to the episode of Guru Nanak from Energy Body 1, the Soul Body, and Guru Angad, Energy Body 2, the Negative Mind, you've already felt the power of this series. These are not history lessons. These are multidimensional transmissions. Each one is designed to stir something deep in your soul, to awaken codes you've been carrying for lifetimes. And today, we walk with Guru Amar, the third Guru, the visionary, the humble powerhouse, the one who reminds us that expansion is not about ego, it's about embodied equality. This episode is dedicated to Energy Body 3, the positive mind, also known as the expansive mind. The body holds the key to visionary thinking, the right use of power, spiritual optimism, leadership through inclusion, and the ability to see beyond your limitations and act with divine courage. But we're not stopping at theory. I'm going to show you how this body activates inside you, how it links with your numerology chart, and how Guru Amar embodied this frequency in action, and how to move through the shadows that block your expansion, overthinking, hesitation, performance, and trauma of not being heard. You'll leave this episode with more insight. You'll leave this embodiment with tools, journal prompts, and a frequency reset that supports you in being the expansive, empowered, grounded healer you are born to be. Because you're not here to play small. You're here to build temples with your truth. So if you wish, light a candle, pour some tea, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. This is not passive listening. This is an activation. Let's dive into the soul of the man behind the mission. Guru Amar wasn't born into leadership. He wasn't predestined by family or fame. He didn't arrive early with ambition in his eyes or a divine crown on his head. He was an elder, a seeker, and a servant. He was 72 years old when his soul's highest mission was revealed. 72. Let that land. Because in a world that tells you your time has passed, that your peak is behind you, Guru Amar rises like a lighthouse and says, your expansion is not on a clock. Your timing is divine. Before becoming Guru, he spent years in humble service. He carried water for Guru Angad every single day before sunrise. He cleaned shoes. He cooked langar. He cooked. He served the community without needing recognition. And here's what's wild. He wasn't doing it to prove himself. He wasn't trying to climb a ladder. He was devoted, not because he wanted to lead, but because he knew that true leadership starts with the unseen. This is where most people miss the frequency of Amadas. They see the end result, the guru, the policies, the spiritual power, but the activation didn't come from status. It came from embodied humility. Every soul-aligned discipline, every year of private integrity. This is the message of the positive mind. You don't need to hustle your way into visibility. You don't need to manipulate your timeline. You don't need to chase your destiny. You align with your integrity. You live in service of something greater. And destiny meets you. Guru Amadas reminds us that it's never too late to expand. But expansion doesn't mean more. It means truer. Truer to your vision. Truer to your values. Truer to your voice. That is what makes the positive mind truly magnetic. Not toxic optimism, not spiritual bypassing, but radiant alignment between vision and action. You don't need to pretend to be perfect. You need to root into purpose. And you're already carrying that seed of that purpose inside of you. So take a breath, because you're just getting started. Let's shift now into the energetics. Energy body 3, referred to as the positive mind, is where your soul vision meets divine momentum. It is the energy body of belief, optimism, courage, and creative projection. Now, when we hear positive mind, many people immediately think of affirmations, smiling through pain, or bypassing the hard stuff. But this body isn't about sugarcoating. It's about spiritual discernment with a solution-orientated lens. It's the frequency that lets you see past your wounds and into your power. When your energy body is fully activated, you feel inspired by your soul's purpose, not overwhelmed by it. You generate forward movement, even in the unknown. You turn ideas into blueprints, visions into action, insight into impact. This is the body of the spiritual visionary, the builder, the one who holds the faith even when others can't see the bigger picture yet. And yet there are shadow aspects too, as with all the energy bodies. When this body is blocked, unchanged, or distorted, you might spiral into overthinking without execution, rely on perfection before taking any steps, jump from one idea to another without grounding in anything. Look for external validation before trusting your vision. Does any of this sound familiar? This is where we meet the modern empath, the spiritual entrepreneur, the coach, the healer, who sits on millions of dollars worth of energetic gold, but hasn't built a foundation to bring it into reality. That's why Energy Body 3 is so critical. It's the bridge between inspiration and integration, between seeing the new world and the actual building of it. And Guru Amadas embodied this. He didn't just hold the vision of equality, he implemented it. He took a spiritual idea and made it a lived, practiced, enforced truth. Imagine this. He created 22 administrative districts called Majas, each led by a spiritual leader, many of whom were women. Radical for the time, he systemized Langar, the sacred community kitchen, ensuring that everyone, rich or poor, upper class or so-called untouchables, sat together before receiving spiritual instruction. He didn't preach unity, he designed it. This is the blueprint of Energy Body 3, not just dreaming big, but structuring big. And I want to ask you, where have you been called to build, but told yourself you're not ready? I know I did. I'm a gift 3, and it took me a long time to get to this. Where have you just seen injustices and stayed silent instead of systemizing change? Where are you hiding your expansive vision because you're afraid it won't be understood? This body asks you to step up, to stop waiting, to stop delaying, to stop over-editing your power, because the world doesn't need another quiet visionary. It needs architects of new earth. It needs leaders who can hold the frequency and build the frameworks. So if you felt that stirring in your gut, that urge to lead, to speak, to teach, to write, to organize, to change, that's not random. That's your positive mind saying, I'm ready. Let's build it. And together in this episode, We'll keep unlocking what that looks like for you. So here's some numerology insights for the frequency of the 3. Let's deepen our understanding of this frequency by weaving it through the sacred lens of numerology. In numerology, the number 3 holds a vibrational field of joyful expansion, self-expression, creation and connection. It's a number of divine communication, the energetic bridge between soul and society. 3 energy is playful, expansive, radiant. It is the cosmic child, the performer, the storyteller, the spiritual translator. It doesn't just feel energy, it moves energy. It is the first number that synthesizes polarity into trinity, creation, and duality. People with strong 3s in their numerology charts, particularly in their life path, destiny, or gift, like myself, often carry a natural charisma or magnetic presence, an ability to uplift others through voice, art, or storytelling, a gift for translating deep spiritual wisdom into accessible language, a tendency to feel big emotionally, energetically, and creatively. But let's get real for a moment. That brilliance comes with its challenges. I can tell you it does. Because 3s can also hide their pain behind performance, stay surface level to avoid vulnerability, jump from one passion to another without completing the cycle, overthink, overtalk, and underact when the fear of failure kicks in. Sound familiar? Because I've been through all of those. Guru Amar carried the high octave of the 3. He embodied it through service rooted in communication. He didn't just speak about spirituality. He systemized it through action. He didn't just believe in unity. He designed it, built it, and enforced it. And here's where numerological mastery really shows. 3 is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, wisdom, and vision. It's the guru planet, the teacher, the uplifter, the one who magnifies truth. Guru Amar was a living expression of this Jupiterian energy. He didn't lead from control, he led from expansive clarity. So I want you to ask yourself, where in your chart does the number 3 show up? Are you honoring your ability to create, express, and expand? Are you silencing your message out of fear it won't be perfect or well received? Because this number isn't about being polished. It's about being truthful. It's about being willing to show up, speak out, and let your soul move through you. And when you do, you become a transmitter of freedom. Here are some journal prompts for this integration. Ask yourself, where am I being called to speak truth into structure? Where am I ready to expand from inspiration into action? You don't need to fix yourself. You need to unblock your expression. And this is the gift of the energy body 3 and the frequency of the number 3. The power to expand, express, and energize others simply by being aligned in your truth. That's why I created this YouTube channel. Let's move on to Lemurian remembrance, the temple of structured light. I'd like you to close your eyes for a moment. Let's time travel beyond dates and dogma, beyond linearity, into the multidimensional memory of your soul carries. In Lemuria, the sacred wasn't performed, it was lived. We didn't separate from spiritual form. Everything was frequency, and frequency was everything. Temples weren't built just by stone. They were built from light, from sound, and from shared intent. The priests, kings, and priestesses of Lemuria held specific codes. Some were healers, some were grid keepers, some were sound activators, but others, they were designed to sacred society. And that's where we locate the soul lineage of Guru Amar. He is a Lemurian temple architect, not in a traditional sense of bricks and mortar, but in the energetic design of systems that uphold sovereignty, equality, and divine order. He remembered how to bring heaven to earth through form. He remembered how to take frequency and anchor it into ritual. He remembered how to uphold unity, not just through ideas, but through containers that allowed everyone to experience the sacred. This is high-level Lemurian service, and this is Energy Body 3 in full mastery. So let's pause. Are you awakening the part of you that doesn't just want to speak light, but to build light into your coaching containers, your relationships, your businesses, your work, your daily rhythm of life? Because here's the Lemurian code. Frequency without form will evaporate. Form without frequency will suffocate. But when the two merge, creation becomes sacred. This is the realm of sacred structure, of frameworks that don't control, but they liberate, of routines that don't suppress, they stabilize your magic. Guru Amar wasn't just a wise elder. He was a multidimensional bridge between Lemuria and now. And if you're still listening to this episode, it's because you carry the same frequency. So ask yourself this: what structure is my soul craving? What system wants to be born through me? Where am I afraid to lead because I fear my vision is too much or too radical? Take a moment to write down a download. It doesn't need to be perfect, but let your Lemurian temple builder speak, because this world doesn't need more chaos masked as creativity. It needs containers of liberation. It needs frequency holders who can build what they see. And babe, that's you. Let's move on to how we move on to doing this with a modern application, from vision into action. Let's bring this down into earth frequency now, because all the remembrance in the world means nothing if you're not embodying it. So let's talk about how this shows up in your life. Energy Body 3 isn't about sitting on a mountaintop, visualizing your dream life and waiting for it to drop into your lap. It's about holding the vision and taking soul-aligned action into bringing it into form. Think about how Guru Amar served. He didn't just meditate on equality, he enforced it. He didn't just hope for unity. He built systems that dismantled division. How does that translate for you today? Maybe you're a coach who keeps saying you want to start a group program, but you haven't outlined the structure. Maybe you're an artist who dreams of selling your work, but you haven't created a system for people to actually buy it. Maybe you're a leader with a message, but you're still over-editing your truth instead of speaking it. This part of the energy body system calls you forward. It says no more waiting, no more overthinking, no more hiding behind planning. Let's move. But it also knows that action without alignment burns you out. So here's how we apply the positive mind frequency in a grounded way. 1, clarify your soul's vision. What are you truly here to build? Not what's trendy, not what everybody else is doing. What's the soul alignment that keeps whispering to you at 3 a.m.? 2, identify the first sacred step. Forget about the 12-month plan. What's one thing you can do this week that moves the energy? 3, anchor your action with a system. This doesn't mean rigid structure. It means consistent flow. Think sacred rituals, content calendars that feel nourishing, offers that are both intuitive and practical. 4, recommit when resistance rises, because it will. Your ego will say, who are you to lead? And you'll respond, just like Guru Amar did, I lead by service and I serve by acting. Let's take this further. What action have you been avoiding? What soul structure are you resisting because you're afraid it makes you too much? Where are you choosing safety over service? Write it down. Better yet, speak it out loud, because this world doesn't need your overthinking. It needs your embodied expansion. You are the voice, the vision, the vessel. And Energy Body 3 is saying, let's go. I want to give you an activation practice to ground the vision. So now, beautiful soul, let's get out of the mental and into the energetic, into the body, into the grid, into the part of you that's been waiting to not just know this, but to become it. So find a quiet space, sit in a cross-legged position if you can, or lay down. So close your eyes, one hand on your heart and the other on your solar plexus. Take 3 slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. With each inhale, draw a golden light. With each exhale, release the tension of overthinking, overdoing, and self-doubt. Now visualize a golden temple rising up around you. This is your soul's sacred architecture, the temple of vision. Inside this temple is a scroll, your Lemurian blueprint, the instructions your soul wrote before incarnating. See Guru Amar gently offering it to you. Feel the frequency of his humility, his clarity, his unwavering courage. You are ready to read this scroll, to receive what you've been seeking from within. Repeat aloud, I am the architect of my soul's expansion. I build in service. I lead from vision. I act with courage. I honor my divine blueprint. Now bring your awareness to your solar plexus. Imagine a golden wheel beginning to spin. This is your energy body 3, your positive mind. Feel it activate. Feel it expand. Bright, strong, and aligned. It doesn't need to be loud, but it does need to be clear. It doesn't need permission. It needs presence. Let this energy run through your spine, into your heart, into your words, your thoughts, and your hands. Let it inform your next action. Now place both hands over your heart and whisper, I'm ready. Anchor this energy. Seal it in with breath. Know that this activation lives in you now. And every time you doubt your power, your worth, or your vision, you can come back to this frequency. Because the temple you're building isn't out there, it's in here. Breathe, ground, return. Breathe, ground, return. And now, as we bring this sacred transmission to a close, let's not just end, let's anchor. Let's honor what's been stirred in you, not just with notes or thoughts or good intentions, but with embodied action. Because you didn't just listen to this episode, you participated in it. You activated a deeper layer of your Lemurian remembrance. You unlocked a dimension of Guru Amar's frequency that now lives inside you. You are not here to follow systems that were never made for you. You are here to create them. You are not here to repeat history. You are here to recode it. And Energy Body 3, the positive mind, is your invitation to rise as the architect of a better world, not through force, not through control, but through vision, clarity, structure, and soul service. So take this step into your next breath, into your next post, into your next offer, into your next conversation. Where would you normally shrink? And instead, you speak, you lead, you expand, you remember. And if this transmission stirred something in your soul, if it reminded you of your power, your path, or your purpose, don't let it be the last time we connect. Hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, and join this sacred space of remembrance and reclamation. This isn't just a YouTube channel. It's a temple, a vortex, a portal for the new earth. And if this landed for you, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs it, and drop a heart in the comments, or let me know what landed for you in this video. Let's keep this frequency alive and echoing. Until next time, stay grounded, stay golden, and never forget, you are the miracle you've been waiting for, with fierce love and starlight truth. Until next time.